Hey guys, hey, so this is my second installment of what you should have been told in nutrition class according to the world of Nirvana. So, the first thing I really wanted to talk about today is I am not a medical professional. I do have, associate's degree in medical billing and administration, which does not make me a medical professional. It means that I have my associate's degree in something that don't matter. So, I wanted to throw that out there first and foremost. I cannot advise you personally what you should do. Okay, I can only tell you what works for me, what I know that works for me. I could tell you, moderate general information that you can find out yourself by going to Google or looking at other YouTube channels, or, I'm just letting you know that I don't want you to think that I am, an expert on this field, because I'm not. I can just give you what I know is true to me and what helps me and what can work for me, what has and has not worked for me, what I found and have not found true since I started my journey 16 months ago. So please, it is most important for you to talk to your own surgeon, your own nutritionist, your own, bariatric experts, in a medical professional setting before doing anything that you've been advised not to. Okay? So just throwing that out there, make sure that you understand that, I'm not advising you to go against what your surgeons and, nutritionists have said. I'm just telling you what I know is to be the truth for me. And that's Saki over here snoring peacefully. And Yuki. So that's Yuki awake. And Saki's over here snoring. Mama. That tongue. That's over here. So, back what I was going to say. So now that I've gotten that straight and you guys understand where I'm coming from, I'd like to talk about, so Cerise messaged me on my post the other day, and she said not only, the gum issue of being able to swallow it, making you dehydrated and stuff like that, but the fact that it does signal your brain to think that you're eating, so you're actually inducing more stomach acid. So something that you may want to know about is that if you have a lot of heartburn, a lot of ulcers, a lot of reflux, gastric bypass actually is prescribed to people who have that. I had GERD. So I had a lot of horrible reflux. I would wake up like gagging on my own stomach acid and stuff. And I constantly had to take Nexium because I had a lot of heartburn. And that was even without eating anything tomatoey and spicy or anything. That was just in general. So after my gastric bypass, I haven't had heartburn since. It's been 16 months since the last time I felt any kind of heartburn. So yes, when you chew gum, it signals your brain to release more stomach acid because it thinks you're eating more. So it does affect you that way. So if you do have the sleeve or you do have the lap band, you can get a lot more acid in your stomach and stuff than you do with, you don't have that problem with the gastric bypass. So next thing to talk about is enzymes. Digestion of your food starts in your mouth first. Okay, because you produce enzymes when you start to eat. So those help break down the food. With gastric bypass and with the sleeve, we do not, mostly the gastric bypass, you don't digest the food like you used to. It doesn't break down in the pouch exactly like it used to. It does some, in your sleeve, it does some, but it does not get fully digested until it has reached, your intestinal tract. So I need you to understand that when you regurgitate, when you get the foamies and dump it, I will talk about dumping too. I'm going to talk about lots of stuff. There's at least 4 or 5 of these I have planned to do, okay? So, when you get that foamy in the back of your feeling because something is stuck or something didn't agree with you, that's not typically stomach acid because it comes up pretty much in the state you ate it, because it doesn't break down like it used to in your stomach. So you need to understand that first and foremost, that when you're eating stuff, this is not the lap band, this is gastric bypass and the sleeve. When you eat something, it typically comes right back up just the way you ate it. Meat, dry meat, sugary substances, stuff like that. If your stomach does not like it and you do happen to get it back up, it's going to come back pretty much the same consistency. That being said, with the enzymes and stuff, papaya enzymes will be your best friend in this instance, especially for when you're having a stomach ache. Anytime your pouch is kind of grumbly and annoying and it doesn't feel good after you've eaten something, or even if you have eaten something that you shouldn't have eaten, and we all do it. Please don't be like, I never eat anything off my diet. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We're human. It happens. Okay, I'm not saying that, you don't have to be perfect on my channel. You don't have to, because I'm not going to judge you, because it's real life. We're real people, and there's no reason to pass judgment on anybody. So if you know that you're going to eat something, let's say that you want to try steak tonight, and typically red meat bothers you. Number one, make it as small and thin as possible. If you have one of those really nice steak knives, the butcher knives, if you could make it as thin as possible, or this is what I typically like to do with steaks and stuff like that. I'll marinate it, and then I actually take it to my butcher. So after I've marinated it and I've cooked it the way I like it, because I like it, I can only eat it medium rare. You take it to your butcher, and they fillet it for you. They will slice it. So they'll make it as thin as you can, because they have those big professional slicers, and he charges me like $2 to do that. So I like to make 2 or 3 big steaks for, 2 for my husband, and then I get the last one, and I have him carve that one up for me. Or you can do it yourself, if you feel that you can make those thin strips yourself. But I like them kind of paper thin, because then I know they will dissolve. So, yeah. So make them as small as possible, and don't chew the enzymes, okay? Suck on the enzymes. They are very small. They're about this big. They're, like real tiny. And to me, that they taste like papaya. It's sweet. You can get them at GNC. You can get them at most of your vitamin stores and supplement stores. Papaya enzymes. And what that is it helps break down anything that you've already eaten that may get stuck, may not feel that good, kind of calms your stomach. Also, ginger works really good. So you can get the pickled ginger. You can even get ginger gum, and you can kind of chew that and release it. But don't chew, because then you've got chewed pieces sitting on something that's already not agreeing with you. And since we don't digest like we used to, that's not going to work for you. So it's pretty much, if you chew your food, if you chew those enzymes, then the pieces are just going to be sitting on top of the already aggravated, food that's aggravating your stomach. So it's not going to help you. You need to suck on them, make them really liquidy, and swallow. Also, if you get stuff stuck, I guess I can talk about, stuck. I'll talk about stuck right now. So if you get things stuck, sipping hot water, okay? Sipping hot water. A lot of times if you eat too fatty foods, because we don't have all that, bile and stuff, especially if you've had your gallbladder removed. I will talk about that too, but my gallbladder has been removed. So anything that I eat fatty, even fattier than you think it would be, can get stuck. Right on the edge of that hole, the sphincter I talked about before, and kind of clog it up. So by sipping hot water or, hot tea, it actually helps break that up and helps move it along. So hot water, hot tea, and oftentimes if you know that whatever's stuck in there isn't going to go down and you need to get it back up, drinking a couple swallows of something warm or hot will help you, big time. If you are dry heaving and you can't get what needs to come up, drinking hot water will help you, make it loose enough in there to get it back up. And a lot of times you've eaten too much, or, you've got a lot of saliva, because when you're starting to dump, which is, the dumping syndrome, you create a lot of saliva because, you get the foamies. That's what they call the foamies. And you've swallowed a lot of saliva, so it's actually trying to help you get that back up. And we don't typically throw up like a normal person anymore. It's more like regurgitation, so it's more like a bird forcing it back up. I don't recommend sticking your finger down your throat unless you're desperate. So I would say do the water trick, and it will kind of just, you'll feel it here. If you look on my Facebook, I put a picture of where your pouch is. It is actually sitting in the middle of your chest. So it's hooked to your esophagus, guys. So when you feel that weird, you know, funky sensation right there, it's actually hooked right there. That's where it is. So that's really important. It is actually hooked to your esophagus, and then your intestines are right underneath it. So that pain in the middle of your chest, that's why. So let's see what time. Oh God. Okay. So the hot water, the papaya enzymes will help you tenfold. Make sure I take about 6 to 8 papaya enzymes and just suck on them, and then whatever's down there, if I'm not gonna get it back up, typically it'll help break it down over time and get it to go, and it also calms the stomach, and so will ginger. So ginger will help it won't help break it down, but it will help calm the irritated stomach. It'll also help with alcohol related irritation and stuff like that, and spicy irritation. But so I hope that helps with, I don't want to do an 80-minute video every day. So this is number 2. I talked about enzymes. I talked a little bit about dumping. I told you I'm not a medical professional because I'm not. I do want you guys to know that if you have questions, leave them below. I will talk about a lot of stuff. I will start talking about complications and things that I have experienced myself, things that I've learned other people have experienced. And let me know if you like these. So I love your faces, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.